Did you know that you were not that far off from your whole, like, maybe they're doing the 3 anniversary?
Oh, yeah.
With all the different cement stuff. You had said 30 years. It's actually 35 years. And with that, we have one of my favorite releases of the year so far from the Jordan brand. These are f***ing beautiful. They're just gorgeous. Yo, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look and review on the Air Jordan 2 in white cement. It's a brand new colorway for a clean classic model. I think they look fantastic. They come in an original style Air Jordan box, but these bad boys right here, I am so in love with. They came out nicer than I could have even have imagined. I really like them. I have this weird infatuation with white and gray shoes. You and I were just talking about this, and I was just like, I don't even know what it is, because like they're like grandpa looking shoes, you know what I'm saying? Like white, gray, whatever. And then it hit me. It's because of my love for nostalgia, essentially. They weren't my first like Nike shoe, but it was the first one where like I was trying to get the Air Jordan and my mom just wasn't having it. And so I found the Airfly 89. And this was when I was like a junior or senior in high school. So it was around like 98, 99, something like that. I bought them. I was like, yo, these are gonna match with everything I got. And I absolutely loved them. I wore them to death. And ever since then, just white and gray, I've just been in love with ever since. So I think that was my origin story of my grandpa shoe love.
It's beautiful.
Maybe you have an origin story too. If you do, sound off below, let us know. I'd like to hear it. That's always like the funnest part. Every time we like go over like a memory or something like that, or reminisce a little bit, and then I'd be like, yo, leave your stories. Some people leave the dopest stories. There was this dude in the Converse video, The Weapons, where he still has the original pair that was like his dad's and all this stuff. I was like, this is fantastic. So yeah, if you got a cool ass story, let me know. Anyways, the outsole on these, again, just gorgeous. I really like the way that it looks, man. Like these two sets or tones of gray just look fantastic with one another. Offset that with the white. It's super simple. It's super clean. I absolutely love it. We've talked about this multiple times, but I'll go over it again just in case you're new. The outsole is pretty plain. It's pretty flat and everything like that. We've done performance reviews on almost every single Air Jordan though, so you can check the playlist if you were interested in any of the performance aspects. But if you're just here for casual use, then you're at the right place. And then this guy right here that you see where the Nike branding is, that's actually the foam poking through the outsole. So that's not any rubber, that's actually polyurethane, which is really cool. It's an original feature. Again, like the box is an original feature for the shoe. And then the way that they came, I've already done the B-roll, so that's why they're not unlaced, but they came unlaced with just the bottom lace in there. However, the things that they leave out for whatever reason, they've only added them on the OG style colorways so far, but they left out the Jordan tag, and I think there was a booklet as well. That's not in there. The booklet like tells you about the shoe and the tech specs and stuff like that. All of these things were originally featured with the Air Jordan 2. And again, they're only adding them with the original colorways, which I think is a missed opportunity because maybe the original 2 wasn't for someone. So maybe this is their first pair of 2s. They should get the full treatment. They should get the full experience, especially because the price didn't change.
Boo, you whore.
But anyways, the midsole itself is polyurethane, and these ones, I'm happy to note, feel more like the Chicago 2s than the others. Like I've been saying how like the low 2s, which I've gotten quite a few of, the low top versions are just not that comfortable for whatever reason. I have no idea why. They just aren't. But the Chicago ones are hella comfortable. And I put these on and I was like, it was like this close. The only thing that would have made it more comfortable is if they would have given you a real polyurethane insole instead of this dream cell bullshit. But anyways, the midsole itself is polyurethane. Inside of the heel is an air sole unit. The previous retros, and I'm talking about I think it's like 2004 is when they started like really retroing that shoe. They did have a retro run in the 94, 95 era, but we are not gonna consider those, mostly because I never had one, so I couldn't tell you what was in them. But from the 2004 era onward until the off-white Air Jordan 2 lows, all of the retros had a full-length air unit. So it didn't look exactly like this, but it was very similar. And nowadays, it's back to the original tech specs, which is just heel air. Some people don't like that, some people don't care. Either way, it just is what it is. But back to the insole, again, this is the Dream Cell insole. I've been wearing my Lost and Founds, and I've left the stock insole in. I just took them out and replaced them with a Move All Day insole, which is a much better insole because the original Dream Cell just bottomed out. Real polyurethane doesn't do that. So this is not 100% polyurethane. This is
Trash.
However, the graphic, cool. So I really like this, but we've seen this colorway right here recently on the Air Jordan 1 Skyline. And so that's originally what I thought this was all about. It even has the Skyline right there at the heel. However, when I looked up the original Look Up in the Air ad campaign, which is an actual ad campaign, it was not for the Air Jordan 1 or the Skyline. It was actually for the Air Jordan 2. I don't know if they blended it on purpose or it's just a fuck up or they just thought this looked better, but the color scheme on the original ad is definitely different than the Skyline look. But either way, it's a nice homage anyways. Now the upper, like most of the 2s that have been releasing recently, it's just fantastic, dude. Like the leather on this is so good. It's very soft, it's supple, it breaks in perfectly. It's just beautiful stuff. We still have the lizard embossed print on the side panel, which I'm glad that they did not remove. They have removed it on certain colorways, and I just really like the way that it looks, so I love that it's here. The overall color scheme is very similar to the original Chicago home colorway, which I know is confusing. There's only 2 original colorways. There was the Chicagos with the black midsole that have re-released recently, and then there is the white and red Chicagos, which is kind of like a home colorway that look very similar to the Lucky Greens, but instead of green, it was red. Essentially, it's these. Funny enough, we just did this with the Reebok Question 2, but the pre-aging thing is very accurate, where my midsoles are still stark white, but my cup sole is starting to yellow. They just, you know, sped up the process. I'm okay with it at this point. It doesn't bother me. I know that some people are bothered by it, and I completely understand. But again, it's gonna happen anyway, so. One of my favorite little design aspects is actually the piping on this one. It was not featured on the original Chicago with the black midsole, but it was featured on the original white and red Chicago. I know it's getting confusing, I'm sorry. And basically we've got a nice little colored accent right there. It's black, but then it gradients into gray, and I just love the way that it gradients because it looks like dot artwork, like old comic book artwork, you know what I mean, where it's the dot art. And love it. The tongue is really interesting because it's stark white on the top. That actually is vinyl, so it's not real leather, it's all synthetic. But then the base, it's cream looking or something. Not quite gray, it's not quite cream or sail. It's like a in between. I don't love that, but the laces cover it, so I don't care. The Wings logo on the tongue though is gorgeous. I love it. This was the first shoe that they did in the Jordan line where they were like, you know what, man, this guy doesn't need a giant ass swoosh on the side. It only took 2 models. The first one, and then the second one, they switched it up. They were like, this guy's bigger than anything we've ever seen before. Boy, that was a great decision. However, there is Nike branding on the back. Super clean, super subtle. I dig it. One last thing to note, they were smart about the collar lining. It is not white.
You win. Perfect.
It's gray. So I really like that. Again, especially since it's a high top for the summer, it's gonna be like an easy wear with shorts and stuff like that. And you're not gonna show all of that wear and tear, or the dirty nastiness that gets on your ankles and socks and shit. So
your sweaty, flaky skin.
Good stuff. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit true to size. Whatever you typically wear, that is what I would recommend. Again, I love wearing my Chicago 2s. I'm probably gonna wear these more because the Chicago has a little bit of red in them. Typically, I don't care about matching, but that's what is so great about an all white or an all black shoe, is that matching is no longer a problem because they go with damn near everything.
Bingo.
But sound off below and let us know what you think about these down below in the comments section. We would love to hear from you guys, especially, again, don't forget, do that OG story, man. If you got a colorway that you love for whatever reason and why, I would love to hear it. But again, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. I will catch you guys on the next one. So until then, have a good one.